Good morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Soumya Sushila Sahu, and I am assistant professor in subject of economics in NBGSM, that is Nirankari Baba Guru Bachan Singh Memorial College. Today we are going to address and discuss the most famous theory of development, that is the Marxian theory of development. But before that, we should all know that who is Marx? What was the background of Marx? And actually, what was the reason that he has given the theory of development? ओके सो मैं आपको हिंदी में भी कुछ कुछ बातें बताती जाऊंगी एंड द होल पीपीटी एंड द डिस्कशन विल बी इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज सो हु वाज the full name of Karl Marx is Karl Heinrich Marx. He was a German philosopher, an economist, and historian, and sociologist, a political theorist, a critic of the political economy, and a socialist revolutionary. His best known titles are 1848 pamphlet, The Communist Manifesto, and the 4th volume of Das Kapital. So born in Germany on 5th May 1818, Marx is known for his revolutionary writings on favoring the socialism and communist revolution. So while Marxism and Marxian economics has been largely rejected by the mainstream today, but many of the Marx critics of capitalism still remains relevant today. Okay, so Karl Marx is known for the celebrated author of the Das Kapital. As Schumpeter wrote, Marxism is religion. To the author of Marxist, as any believer in a faith, the opponent is not really in error, but in sin. So what was the Marxian theory is all about? Marx contributed to the theory of economic development in mostly 3 aspects, namely, in broader respect, in providing an economic interpretation of history, in the narrow aspect of specifying the motivating forces of capitalist development, and in the final respect of suggesting an alternative path of planned economic development. So, what is the materialistic interpretation of the history? The materialistic interpretation of history is that हमने ये देखा कि कार्ल मार्क्स कौन थे. उन्होंने जो मार्क्सियन थ्योरी ऑफ डेवलपमेंट दिया था उसका हम आज डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. एंड हमने ये देखा कि मार्क्सियन जो थ्योरी ऑफ डेवलपमेंट है उसका मेनली क्या क्या एस्पेक्ट्स है. तो पहले तो हमने ये देखा कि उसके मोटिवेटिंग फैक्टर्स क्या है. एक तो एक इकोनॉमिक इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ हिस्ट्री है. दूसरा इन द नैरो रेस्पेक्ट ऑफ स्पेसिफाइंग द मोटिवेटिंग फोर्सेस ऑफ कैपिटलिस्ट डेवलपमेंट. जो कैपिटलिस्ट डेवलपमेंट है, जो कैपिटलिज्म है, उन्होंने उसको जो है नैरो पर्सपेक्टिव से उन्होंने एनालाइज किया है. उन्होंने ये बताया है जब कैपिटलिज्म, हाउ कैपिटलिज्म leads to how the downfall of capitalism occurs when profit rate rises. So the materialistic interpretation of history उन्होंने ये बताया कि to show that all the historical events are the result of a continuous economic struggle between the different classes and groups in the society. जितने ये जो continuous economic struggle है तो ये इसका मेन कारण है कि एक तो हमारे समाज में डिफरेंट क्लासेस एंड ग्रुप्स इन सोसाइटी है जिनके बीच ये कंटिन्यूस इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रगल चलती रहती है. सो द मेन कॉज ऑफ द स्ट्रगल इज द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन द मोड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन एंड the relations of production. Okay, the mode of production refers to a particular arrangement of production in a society that determines the entire social, political, and religious way of living. And the relations of productions relate to the class structure of a society uniquely characterized by the following components. The organization of labor in a scheme of division and cooperation, the geographical environment and the knowledge of the use of resources and materials and technical means and processes and rate of science generally. Okay. So what was the Marxian process of economic development? According to Marx, every society's class structure consists of the propertied and the non-propertied classes. Since the mode of production is subject to change, a stage comes in the evolution of a society when the forces of production come into clash with the society's class structure. This leads to the class struggle, the struggle between the haves and the have-nots, which ultimately overthrows the whole social system. So, ये जो मार्क्सियन प्रोसेस ऑफ इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट है, इसमें दो क्लास मेनली उन्होंने बताया है. क्लास स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में, यदि हम सोसाइटी क्लास स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में जाने, तो एक तो है जो हैव है, जिनके पास the rich people, जिनके पास the mode of production and they can assess the mode of production and they have the economic assessment of everything, and the people who have nothing, who are the who come into the poorer sections of the society. Okay. सो जो मार्क्सियन थ्योरी ऑफ डेवलपमेंट पे दो कॉन्सेप्ट है जो मार्क्स ने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से समझाया है. दो कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है in the Marxian theory of development, that is the surplus value and the capital accumulation. So Marx uses his theory of surplus value as the economic basis of the class struggle and under capitalism, and it is on the basis of his theory of surplus value that he builds the superstructure of his analysis of economic development. So mainly the theory of surplus value is an important factor in the Marxian theory of development under capitalism, and it is the basis of the Marxian theory of economic development. So what is class struggle? Class struggle is simply the outcome of the accumulation of surplus value in the hands of few capitalists. Okay. So हम जो surplus value का जो formula है, we will read it about in the further PPTs. Okay. So mainly हम पहले जानते हैं कि what is the cause of surplus value. तो हमने पहले ये देखा कि सरप्लस वैल्यू जो है ये मार्क्सियन थ्योरी ऑफ डेवलपमेंट का बेस है. ओके. इकोनॉमिक जो सरप्लस वैल्यू जो है एक इकोनॉमिक बेस है ऑफ द क्लास स्ट्रगल. ये जो क्लास स्ट्रगल हो रहा है बिटवीन द हैव्स एंड हैव नॉट्स, ये जो है सरप्लस वैल्यू इज द इकोनॉमिक बेस. ओके. So class struggle is simply the outcome of the accumulation of surplus value in the hands of few capitalists. Okay. तो जैसे हम आज भी हम देखते हैं कि ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस ऑफ इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट जो प्रॉफिट है वो and the higher income profit are accumulated in the some of the few higher income, that is upper middle class or very rich people, and yes. So what is the cause of surplus value? हम उसके बाद जानेंगे what is the cause of surplus value. कि surplus value जो आता है ये जो इकोनॉमिक बेस उन्होंने मार्क्सियन थ्योरी ऑफ डेवलपमेंट में बताया, तो इसका क्या कॉज है? व्हाट इज द कॉज ऑफ सरप्लस वैल्यू? दिस इज द मतलब सरप्लस वैल्यू कहाँ से आता है? So according to Marx, as we are talking about the Marxian theory of development, तो हम ये जानेंगे कि मार्क्स का क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था कि सरप्लस वैल्यू कहाँ से आता है? व्हाट इज द कॉज ऑफ सरप्लस वैल्यू? सो अकॉर्डिंग टू Marx, the cause of this surplus value is not raw materials, machines, because their contribution to production is not more than the value. Therefore, the surplus value arises only from the labor power. तो मार्क्स ने ये बताया कि जो सरप्लस वैल्यू जो आता है वो mainly comes from labor power and not from machines or raw materials. If a laborer works for a 10-hour day, but it takes him 6 hours labor to produce goods to cover his subsistence, he will be paid wages equal to 6 hours labor. So what next? हम सरप्लस वैल्यू के बाद कैपिटल एक्युमुलेशन के बारे में बात करेंगे। कैपिटल एक्युमुलेशन जो है हम इसलिए डिस्कस करेंगे कि ये वन ऑफ द टूल है इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द कैपिटलिस्ट टू मैक्सिमाइज हिज प्रॉफिट्स, ओके, एंड सरप्लस वैल्यू इज आल्सो वन ऑफ द टूल in the hands of the capitalist to maximize his profits, okay, and mainly the surplus value comes from the labor power. So according to Marx, it is the surplus labor that leads to the capital accumulation, okay. The capitalist's main motive is to increase the surplus value, which goes to swell his profits. He tries to maximize his profits in 3 ways. Mainly by 3 ways the capitalist maximize his profit rate: by prolonging the working day in order to increase the working hours of surplus labor. That means यदि 6 घंटे के काम में एक लेबर अपना 6 घंटे के आवर ड्यूरेशन में एक लेबर अपना काम खत्म करके जा सकता है, एंड दैट इज टू उस दिन का वो प्रोडक्शन जो टारगेट है, प्रोडक्शन टारगेट मीट हो जाता है, मतलब वो पा लेता है, तो यदि द कैपिटलिस्ट 6 घंटे की जगह 10 घंटे उससे काम करवाता है, तो वो जो है इस तरीके से वो अपना प्रॉफिट कमा सकता है। दैट इज जो 6 घंटे का जो उसने काम किया है लेबर, तो उसका जो वेज रेट है वो 6 घंटे का ही हो गया, और जो 4 घंटे जो एक्स्ट्रा उसने काम करवाया, दैट इज 10 आवर्स में से जो 4 घंटे बच गए, वो 4 घंटे का जो काम है उसका जो प्रॉफिट हुआ, मुनाफा, वो कैपिटलिस्ट के पास चला जाता है, ओके। सो the first point is prolonging the working day in order to increase the working hours of the surplus labor. If the working hours are extended from 10 to 12, then the surplus will automatically increase from 4 to 6. And second, by diminishing the number of hours required to produce the labor's sustenance, if they are reduced from 6 to 4, the surplus would again rise from 4 to 6. एक तो है कि पहले आप जो वर्किंग डे है उसको प्रोलॉन्ग कर लें, दैट इज यदि 10 घंटे का काम है तो उसको 12 घंटे में आप उसको उससे ले सकते हो, लेकिन जो वेज रेट है आप 10 घंटे का ही दोगे। सेकेंड है बाय डिमिनिशिंग द नंबर ऑफ आवर्स, मीन्स यदि वो 6 घंटे का काम कर रहा है द लेबर, तो उसका जो वर्किंग डे है वो आप 4 आवर्स तक सीमित कर सकते हो, तो वो जो 2 घंटे का जो गैप हो, 2 घंटे का जो आपने उससे काम नहीं लिया, तो उसका वो वेज रेट उसको नहीं मिलेगा, ओके। नंबर 3 पॉइंट इज बाय द स्पीडिंग ऑफ लेबर, दैट इज इंक्रीजिंग द प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ लेबर, एंड दिस रिक्वायर्स टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज दैट हेल्प्स इन रेजिंग द टोटल आउटपुट एंड लोअरिंग द कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, ऑब्वियसली। सो जो ये 3 मेथड मैंने बताया, 3 मेथड में जो मार्क्स का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू था, तो उसके इन 3 मेथड से इन 3 मेथड में, ओके, अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्स, इंक्रीज, दैट इज द लास्ट पॉइंट, इंक्रीज इन द प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ लेबर इज द लाइकली चॉइस ऑफ द कैपिटलिस्ट, since the other 2 methods of extending the working hours and reduction of wages have limitations of their own, okay. So After discussing the surplus value, the concept of surplus value, the cause of surplus value, and how capital accumulation occurs, तो इनके बाद हम कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स, मार्क्स में कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स बताया है, उसको हम थोड़ा देख लेते हैं. So how the origin of profit occurs. Okay, to explain the origin of profit and to analyze the relation between wages and profits, Marx separates capital into constant capital and variable capital. So what is constant capital and variable capital? Because capital accumulation is the main source of maximizing profits in the Marxian theory of development, so he has categorized capital into constant capital and variable capital. Okay, so constant capital is the capital invested in the stocks or raw materials or equipment which directly assist the productivity of labor. And variable capital is the capital devoted to the purchase of labor power in the form of wages or direct sustenance. So the surplus value is denoted by S. So the total value of product, मतलब जो product का total value है, that will be equal to constant capital plus variable capital plus surplus value. That is W is equal to C plus V plus S. So by using these concepts like constant capital and variable capital and surplus value, Marx has established certain relations between C, V and S, that is constant capital, variable capital and surplus value. The first concept he has given is organic composition of capital. What is organic composition of capital? It is the ratio of constant to variable capital, degree or rate of exploitation. The exploitation of whom? Exploitation of labor. Degree or rate of exploitation, we can also call it the rate of surplus value. It is defined as the ratio of surplus value to variable capital, that is S by V, or of profits to wages. So according to Marx, the rate of profit, this is important, the rate of profit is not dependent solely on the rate of surplus value. मतलब the rate of profit सिर्फ rate of surplus value के ऊपर dependent नहीं है. It can even change when the rate of surplus value is constant. How? If a change occurs in the organic composition of capital, that is C by V, means constant capital to variable capital. Okay. So, capital accumulation and concentration involve increase in the constant capital and decline in the variable capital. This is important. इसलिए ये बताया capital accumulation and concentration involve increase in the constant capital and decline in the variable capital. The rapid growth of constant capital as compared with the variable capital leads to a relative decrease in the demand for labor. So the rapid growth of constant capital, जब constant capital का जो growth है, if it is higher than the variable capital, that will lead to a relative decrease in the demand for labor. So this process will lead, that is this process of replacing labor by the machines creates an industrial reserve army. Again, Marx has given a new concept of industrial reserve army, that is of labor, that is of unused labor, that is industrial reserve army, which increases as capitalism develops. इसका मतलब है जब capitalism develop, मतलब आगे बढ़ते जाएगा, तो एक तरीके से इंडस्ट्रियल रिजर्व आर्मी की फौज खड़ी हो जाएगी जो कि अनयूज्ड लेबर है. ओके, द लार्जर द इंडस्ट्रियल रिजर्व आर्मी, the worse are the conditions of the employed workers, because since the capitalists can be dismiss the dissatisfied and the troublesome workers, being able to replace them from the ranks of the reserve army. यदि जब इंडस्ट्रियल आर्मी एक्सपांड करती जाएगी तो एक तरीके से ये जो वर्कर्स के ऊपर एक दबाव पड़ता है, क्योंकि कैपिटलिस्ट जो है वो कभी भी अपने लेबर जो वर्कर्स है उसको डिसमिस कर सकता है और इंडस्ट्रियल रिजर्व आर्मी जो है उससे रिक्रूट कर सकता है लेबर को. ओके, सो ये जो है इंडस्ट्रियल रिजर्व आर्मी की डिसएडवांटेज है. ओके, सो कैपिटलिज्म, बिकॉज वी आर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट कैपिटलिज्म, सो So it is very important to know in the Marxian theory of development that how industrial reserve army is expands throughout the capitalism process. So capitalists are also able to cut down wages to a semi-starvation level and appropriate more and more surplus value. So this is the law of the increasing misery of the masses under capitalism. This is shown in the figure 1. Okay. So here in the figure 1, labor force is taken on the horizontal axis and the wage rate on the vertical axis. D is the demand curve for labor and S is the supply curve of labor. At the wage rate W, that is here, at the wage rate W, okay, there is an increase in the industrial reserve army equal to RA. RA equal to LL1, okay, because the supply of labor is more than the demand for labor. As the industrial reserve army expands, जैसे जैसे industrial reserve army expand होते जाएगा, capitalists can start adopting the labor saving machines and reduce the wage rate to the minimum subsistence level M, that is OM, in order to have more surplus value. ओके ये फिगर आपको समझ में आ गया. दैट इज पहले जो वेज रेट था OW था. ओके एंड द व्हेन द वेज रेट OW में इंडस्ट्रियल रिजर्व आर्मी बढ़ के RA हो गया. दैट इज इक्वल टू LL1. ओके सिंस तो जब इंडस्ट्रियल रिजर्व आर्मी कंटिन्यूसली बढ़ता जाएगा तो कैसे बढ़ेगा? बिकॉज द सप्लाई ऑफ लेबर इज मोर देन द डिमांड फॉर लेबर. सो कैपिटलिस्ट जो क्या करेगा वो लेबर से मशीन अडॉप्ट करने लगेगा टू रिड्यूस द लेबर रिक्रूटमेंट ऑफ लेबर फॉर द इंडिया इंडस्ट्रीज. ओके तो जो वेज रेट है वो मिनिमम सब्सिस्टेंस वेज रेट में मतलब कम हो जाएगा. दैट इज फ्रॉम OW टू OM. ओके तो कैपिटलिस्ट जो है वो वेज रेट इसीलिए कम करेगा क्योंकि उसका जो सरप्लस वैल्यू तभी बढ़ेगा जब वो वेज रेट कम करेगा. ओके सो फाइनली दिस लीड्स टू द डाउनफॉल ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म. how the downfall of capitalism occurs when he stopped recruiting further labor into his industries and reduces the wage rate. Okay, this is the crux of the Marxian theory of development. Okay, so when the capitalist is replacing the workers by machines, he is killing the goose that laid the golden eggs, because this is the basis of the surplus value. Okay, so there is a continual reduction of the surplus value. Marx believes that technological progress tends to increase the organic composition of capital, that is C by B. Since the rate of profit is inversely related to the organic composition of capital, the former tends to decline with accumulation, and Marx explained this tendency of falling rate of profit in terms of the following equation. That is, the rate of profit varies inversely with the organic composition of capital and directly with the rate of surplus value, that is the rate of exploitation. Therefore, the rate of profit R rises with the rate of a surplus value S by B and falls with the organic composition of capital. So, it is clear that the rate of profit R directly varies with the rate of surplus value. Okay, तो surplus value यदि कम होगा तो रेट ऑफ प्रॉफिट भी कम होगा, एंड इफ द सरप्लस वैल्यू बढ़ेगा तो रेट ऑफ प्रॉफिट भी बढ़ेगा. ओके ये जो लॉ ऑफ फॉलिंग रेट ऑफ प्रॉफिट है इज एक्सप्लेन इन फर्दर फिगर 2. ओके सो इन द फिगर as capitalist जो है uses more machines, that is constant capital, and they keep the supply of labor constant. In the figure 2, the amount of capital is taken on the horizontal axis and total output on the vertical axis. The total output curve, that is OP, that is a total output curve. Okay, total output that slopes up to point A, and then diminishes slowly. That is the total output. We can say that the total output increases at an increasing rate and diminishes, and after that it diminishes. It means that as more and more machines are installed, while keeping the supply of labor constant, the law of diminishing returns operates. यहाँ पे diminishing return operate कर रहा है. Okay, as we can see from the figure number 2. So the total wage bill is constant at OT. Okay, the total wage bill is constant at OT, and the supply of labor, that is TW, is also horizontal, that is constant. Okay, TW shows the constant supply of labor. As the amount of capital increases, a tangent that is T1 touches the total output curve OP at point A, and perpendicular AK1, is from A, cuts the TW line at point S1. Okay. Similarly, another line T2, that is from T, cuts the OP curve, that is the total output curve, from below and at the point B, and the perpendicular BK2 from it cuts the TW at S2, that is S2. Okay, with OK1 capital on machines, total output is AK1. Okay. Total profit to capitalist is AS1. AS1 is the profit rate, and the total wages are S1K1. Okay. The rate of profit. So the rate of profit is alpha is equal to AS1 by TS1. If we increase the rate of profit, the capitalists use more capital than OK1. The rate of profit declines. Then OK1, when OK2 capital is used, OK2 capital, the amount of capital has increased from K1 to K2. So with OK2 amount of capital, okay, the rate of profit is alpha dash is equal to BS2 by TS2. BS2 by TS2. Okay, which is obviously less than the AS1 by TS1, that is alpha. Means alpha dash is less than alpha. Thus, when more capital is used on machines, the rate of profit actually declines. This is the Marxian theory of development. This is the point of view of Marx. So, what is the capitalist crisis? There are some points of capitalist crisis. So, in order to counteract this tendency of declining rate of profit, the capitalists increase the degree of exploitation by reducing the wages, lengthening the working day. So, जब प्रॉफिट रेट डिक्लाइन करते जाएगा तो कैपिटलिस्ट के हाथ में एक ही टूल है, दैट इज टू रिड्यूस द वेजेस. ओके, एंड लेंथनिंग द वर्किंग डे. मतलब यदि 10 घंटे का काम है तो वो 12 घंटे या 14 घंटे का काम कर पाएगा. ओके, यदि 8 घंटे का काम है, 8 घंटे में काम पूरा हो जाता है, दैट इज टू मीट द प्रोडक्शन टारगेट, तो वो 10 घंटे का काम करेगा या 12 घंटे में उसको कंप्लीट कराएगा. ओके, काम करने के लिए बोलेगा, दैट इज टू द लेबर. Second is, since every capitalist is engaged in introducing new labor saving and cost reducing devices, the ratio of labor, that is the surplus value, to the total output falls further. Okay, तो ऐसा करके जितना जितना न्यू लेबर सेविंग मशीन्स एंड कॉस्ट रिड्यूसिंग डिवाइसेस वो यूज करते जाएगा, तो द रेशियो ऑफ लेबर, that is the surplus value, to the total output falls further. Okay, Third point is the rate of profit declines all the more. तो ऐसा करते करते the rate of profit will decline all the more. Production is no longer profitable. Industrial reserve army further expands, and thus the capitalist crisis began. And so gradually the capitalism falls and socialism replaces capitalism with the proletarian revolution. Okay? So धीरे धीरे कैपिटलिज्म फॉल करेगा and it will be replaced by socialism. Okay, it will be replaced by socialism with the proletarian revolution. So thank you. This is the Marxian theory of development. Hope you have understood the Marxian theory of development very well. And since Karl Marx is is known to be a great philosopher, great economist and a socialist revolutionary, you are the students of economics or non-economics, you should know about the Marxian theory of development. Thank you.